which is pointed by a particular location. Like if I'm opening a file, that location must be pointed by this F. And here, what are the different modes available in the Python? Let's say first thing we have R. What is R? Open an existing file for read option. That is R. And if the file does not exist, we'll get the file not found error. So this is a default mode also, you can say. And if you're not specifying any mode, it will take it as read. Then we have a write operation. So what is W means? Open an existing file for write operation. And if the file contains already the data, then it will be overridden. Like overridden means what? It will remove the data and store a new data. And if the specified file is not available, then this will create a new file. W means what? It open and the existing file for append operation, like a write operation. And if the file already contains the data, so what will happen? Then it will be overridden. And if the specified file doesn't exist, then it will create new file. The advantage of W, you can say W will create a new file if it doesn't exist. If it exists, it will open the same thing and change the things. And we have append. What is append can do? Open an existing and add the data to the existing data. So whatever the existing data there is there, to that data we can add that new data. So what is R plus? We have few other things like R plus is there, W plus is there, A plus is there. So R plus is nothing but read and write data into the file. W plus means write and read data into the file. And A plus is nothing but append and read data from the file. These are the things we can see. Okay. So how to open a particular file? For example, F is a pointer which points to the file location. Like I'm saying open, and what is that? Suppose some file name abc.txt. I'm just writing it as write. So F is a thing which contains that file location. And after opening the file, after writing or reading, we need to close the file also. So how to close the file? Closing the file. For that, just we have to just say f dot close. Okay. So if you're writing finally block in exception, we can use f dot close in finally. Because if this exception occurs, directly that finally block will get executed and it will close that particular file. For those things, the finally block is used. Okay. So now let's open a file and check those things. So first what I want to do, open a file. What is that name? Anything I can take. abc.txt and W is the mode in which I want to open the file. And after this, F contains this location in that I want to write the data. So you can say Python files concept f dot close files dot py. Where I have to save this G drive Python programs batch 1 files dot py. G drive series space Python program series space batch 1 and I can say py space files dot py. I didn't get anything right, but what I can do, open that folder where you have executed this file or saved this file. So it will be G drive. In that G drive, Python program batch 1, I have this abc.txt. So whatever I have written inside the right method, it has been wrote inside a file abc.txt, Python files concept. And it was a text document created on 7th to 7:44 am, like the time now what we are seeing. Okay, so just now it got created. So this is a file how we have written, like we write multiple lines also, we write single line also, it's up to us. And if you want to check, we have different things present. Like I want to check whether this is in open mode or what. So we have few modes in this thing or objects we have, like print file name. I want to get the file name from it. So I want to get the file name f dot name. It will give the file name. Let's see. Save this thing. File name is abc.txt. Okay. And which mode we have opened it. If I want to know that file mode, f dot mode. So just directly if I run this thing, W. So W means write. And I can check whether it's readable or not. Like these are all objects present. So file readable. What I can say f dot readable. Is it readable? No, it's false. Why false? Because it's not readable, it's writable. So what I can do, file writable f dot writable. It's true. And if you want to check whether the file is closed or not, file closed, f dot closed, object, boolean object is not callable. So f dot closed is a boolean thing. Yeah, I didn't have to give this parenthesis, I guess. False. So file is not closable. It's not closed. If I again check it, it's true because file has been closed, right? So why are doing this? To check the different things available in the file, whether it's writable or not, readable or not. All these things we can directly check it out. Okay. So apart from this, we can write multiple lines. Suppose I'm trying to write f dot write. I can say Python. If you want in the next line, slash and also you can use f dot write programming f dot write language. So what will happen now? The previous data will be removed and it will be storing the new data. Write means every time it will remove the previous data and stores the new data, you can see. Okay. So next thing, I want to add an existing data. How we can add it? Or I want to append the data. How to append it? Let's say A. So that A if I'm adding, and I'll just say Java, save this thing. So it's what it's doing, Python programming language and Java programming language. To the same file, we are able to add that data. Okay. Let's do one thing. I'll take a list and I want to add those values. So what's that list values? Python files concept and f dot write. In that I want to paste that list. It will give error, I guess, because write argument must be string, not list. So which can take the list thing? We have write lines. Let's check this thing, write lines. It's working. So what is it? Write lines is for the list. Python files concept. So it's coming in this particular format. Okay. And if you say W now, with this slash in here, slash in the sense next line, right? Python files concept. So if you write W every time, it will be changing. So what do you understand? We can write that list into that files also. Let's say without a list, I want to take a set. So it got executed, right? So set also can be used to save the data, you can say. Java is there and just want to store the tuple. Java files concept. So tuple is also getting stored, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can have list set tuple, and what's the left out thing?
Dictionary.
Dictionary, right? So what is it? I can take 1023 colon Rahul or 1024 colon. Is this a way to write this list? Hello.
Yeah.
Just asking, is it the way to write a dictionary? I'm asking.
So what did Cosmos refer?
Yes, yeah. No, actually, key value we have to keep out of that. This is not the right way. 1023 and colon we have to keep it after key value.
Getting executed, right?
Yeah.
This is a set. It takes as a set.
Correct. So what you have to do? Have the double quotes only for Rahul and here for Shiva separately. Save this thing and run it. So what it's saying, it's not taking that particular part, right?
Not int. Int part is not taking that key value.
Say, let's say I'll just give this in 1023, 1024 and try to execute this thing. It got executed. So it's taking only the keys, right?
Yes.
Not the values. So from the dictionary, it can take only keys and not the values. And in the list, we'll try this thing, like say L equal to 10, 20, 40, 30. And if I run this thing, what's it saying again?
Only string.
file, it should take string, not
Integer.
integer, right?
Yes.
So you need to give
Why it will not take integers?
the method definition is that way. Let's try for storing integer methods. If is there any methods, the write and write lines are for the string, not for the integer. How to store integer value in files? So it's saying convert that to string and store,
Yeah.
str.
Okay.
So you can write string a new file to that particular thing, right?
Yes.
So at the end, it takes from the string.
Yeah, let's do one thing. I'll just check it out again. It's saying f dot write percentile and the number. Let's check this thing. So it's saying the percentile d, then it's taking the value, right?
Mm-hmm.
So write also can store that integers, but that should be having percentile d. Percentile d indicates the integer value. The percentile must be given to represent that number. Okay. Next. So this is what just writing the data. And suppose if I take that number as 10, 20, 30, 40 and save this thing, a number is required, not less, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's expecting a number, not a list.
So we can read one element from the list. It will work.
I didn't get you. Read?
One element, number of 10 or 20.
Okay, reading one element from the list and storing it, you are saying.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, that we can do because individual numbers it can store. So next thing, reading the characters. Till now, just we have written that write, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now what we can do, how to read the characters. For that, we need to open this in the read mode, right? We have seen the write and append. Now we'll see the read mode. So the read mode means whatever that f dot read we can call stored in some x. So x contains the entire data. Print x. It's not printing any line, right? I guess the data is not there. Previously it didn't got execute, right? So I have to just say open f dot write once we'll write it, then I can open it in the read mode. Python is a programming language. Okay, let's do one thing. Modify that content here and try to read. Like in the file directly, I'm saying here Python follows oops concept. Python files concept. So 3 lines I have written. So it's reading the 3 things, right?
Mhm.
This what you can say it as read. And in the read, let's do one thing. I'll say only 20. So if I say 20, what will happen?
It will
It
read
will
20
read
characters.
20 characters. So Python is a program. Till the 20 characters it got read. After it got stopped. Right? And after this, if I say read line, and you're saying what read line, 3 lines are there. I'm getting only 1 line, right?
Mhm.
So read line means what? It will read only 1 line. So that's the advantage you can say. Read line is nothing but which can read only 1 line. And we have one more thing known as, let's do one thing. I'm storing this read line in X and trying to display, right? I'll call once again one more time f dot read line y equals to. After reading the first line, I'm just trying to have it f dot read line again. So Python follows oops concept. So what it's doing, it's having the cursor to the position where we have read. And if I say again now f dot read line print z, so all the 3 lines will come, I guess. So it's getting the 3 lines, right? So by line, we can get all those things inside this variables. Okay. Now we have one more thing known as read lines S. Just I've added the S here. So what happens for I in X, whatever the lines it's getting, I just want to print that thing. Print I. Save this thing. Python is a programming language. Python follows oops concept. Python files concept. Let's print the X. What it prints. You can see that the data is getting stored in the format of list slash and slash and slash and. Whatever we have read, it's retrieving in the form of list and trying to store inside this. Okay.
So list is the default one. If you read.
Yes, list is the default one, you can say.
Suppose if you have a duplicate one, still it will have the list, or it will give an error.
Duplicate is allowed in the list, right? So now after this, we have one more concept known as the with statement. So what is this with statement can do? If you want to perform the file operations inside a block, we can use this with. The syntax will be with open abc.txt comma write as f, means whatever we are opening we are giving it to f contains it then. And what's the advantage of this with statement means it will close the file automatically. Let's suppose I'm not closing the file, it's retrieving the data, it's fine. If I have to write the data newly, f dot write hello world, what happened? Hello world is getting printed automatically, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So here, if we are not closing the file also, it's fine. But here it's not done internally, like the closing of the file. But whereas with the with statement, the file will be closed automatically. Okay. So that's the advantage of with statement, you can say. Just I'll open this thing, copy this thing, with statement, f dot write Python is a programming language. Save this thing. And if you want to check whether the file is closed or not, we have seen that file is not closed in the time of block, indented block. A block is required. I can open this. Python is a programming language. If you remember, f equals to open abc.txt write and f dot write hello world, and I can use print f dot closed. So what will happen? It will say false, right? Because the file has not been closed. Okay. Even though if you are writing the data, it's fine, but the file has not been closed. Let's do the same thing. I'll remove this thing, uncomment it, and check here whether the file has been closed or not.
False.
After the block, it's true, right? So file is getting closed automatically or not? We can see using the f dot closed. So that's the difference between with and open, right? F open, f equals to open. It's better to use with it's a block of statements and we have this automatically closing of file. Okay. Is it clear till now? So what's the advantage of with statement is also clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, clear.
So we can do file processing only with the text files, or we can process with the CSV files also. or a tab limiter or fixed length. All files are possible.
Yes, all files must be possible, like Excel files in Python. But you have again the other things like data into CSV using Python. So you can write this thing, reading and writing CSV file using Python. We can do that also. Write rows, but we need to import a particular module known as CSV. And CSV file contains that particular CSV module contains a writer module. So if for person in persons, it will write that thing and close that part. So this will create the persons.csv file in current directly. It will show following data. If you want, you can read the data also. Okay. So this will be the different things. So a lot of things are possible, but this is what a module CSV, right? The CSV module, if you know, then you can do it. CSV stands for comma separated values. The format is commonly used data format used in spreadsheets. The CSV model in Python standard library. And can we have
Tab limiter.
what is it?
A comma delimiter, right? You can have a tab delimiter.
No, Excel sheet can store only the comma values, right?
We have
Comma.
normally we have file processing which will have a tab also. Yeah, there's some sort of even fixed length file also there.
Word file writing using Python. Reading and writing MS Word files in Python. Again, it's a different thing directly. It has add paragraph, save, two different methods. And just you need to have this document thing. You have to create the document class with an empty constructor. Then it's working. Okay. So we can write a word also in this thing. Writing header also. It's a class which contains these methods. So a lot of things are possible in Python. Python is more flexible compared with Java and all. If you want to write the same thing in Java, it takes a lot of lines. But here, just open that thing, call the methods, and directly it will execute. If you want to try those things with the CSV and the Word file ones, and let's say I have a tell method inside this. I'm opening a particular abc.txt and write mode or read mode, I can say, and I can use this f.tell. It will give the cursor position actually. F.read, I am giving 3, printf dot tell after that. So 0 is the thing and pyt is at 3. That's the reason that's showing it as 3. If I take it as 5, it will give it as 5. Python position is 5, you can see. So first tell means it's 0th position. After reading the 5 character, it's in the 5th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's starting from 1, you can say. Okay. So next thing, what is this tell doing? Giving the position of that particular cursor, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So try this CSV and the files with Word files as an assignment. Let's see if you are able to do it or not. Tomorrow I'll also try it out, this CSV and the Word files. If it's working out, I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
Mostly
Yeah,
the CSV file is important actually, because Excel data reading is the most important thing. For data science or for machine learning, reading those CSV files is important. Not writing, mostly reading, you can say. Okay.
Okay.
So try those things, CSV and the Word files again. Right. So we'll continue tomorrow with the logging concept, where you can create the logs and how to store the logs. All those things we can check. And after that, the small modules which are left out, the date, the time, and all, we'll check those things also.
frozen set also.
Yes, those in set also.
Rohit, can you just, if you don't mind, can you forward like this text file that you are writing in class?
Yeah, I forgot actually yesterday. I'll forward
Yeah.
now. The thread.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was
Even
thread, right?
yeah, thread or even this one today also. So that's
Thread
fine.
exception and files.
Yeah.
Basically, just keep it like every day forward it.
Sure. I'll just forward this thing today.
Okay. Thanks everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it for today. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Yeah.